Hello students, good morning. In this video, we will study chapter number 17, Forest our Lifeline. And in this video, we will cover topics: structure of forests, importance of decomposers, food chain and food web, importance of forest, deforestation and conservation of forest. How can we conserve our forest? Forests are an immeasurable wealth for us. Forests provide wood for making building, furniture, paper, fuel. They purify the air we breathe in, moderate the climate, and help in the preservation of soil, keep the water clean. Thus, forests act as a purifier of air and water. It is also an habitat of different kinds of plants, animals, microorganisms, as well as tribal people. There are different types of forests in India. These are categorized into 5 main groups: evergreen, deciduous, coniferous, marshy, and thorny forests. Now our topic is structure of forest. A forest area can be divided into layers. Each layer is a habitat of different types of animals, insects, etc. Starting from the bottom, there are five types of layers: forest floor, herb layer, shrub layer, understory layer, and topmost layer is called canopy. Forest floor. It is the layer that touches the earth. It basically comprises of the fallen leaves or twigs from the upper layers. It also includes the earthworm, insects, etc. Animals like lion, deer, bear, etc. are live on this layer. The layer just above the forest floor is called herb layer. It is the lowest layer of vegetation in the forest. It consists of plants that have soft stems. Just above the herb layer lies the shrub layer, which, as the name suggests, consists of shrubs. Shrubs spreads out because they are multi-stemmed. They have woody stem but do not grow as tall as a tree. Understory is the next layer. The trees in this layer do not grow as tall as in the canopy. It consists of smaller trees. These trees usually require a shade to grow. The canopy receives the maximum sunlight. The birds, insects, and mammals that eat fruits live in the canopy. The uppermost branches and the leaves of the tall trees that acts like a roof over the ground, over the forest ground, is called canopy. Now the topic is decomposers. The forest floor is the area where the fallen, decomposing leaves, twigs, dead plants, dead remains of animals, their dungs lay together with fungi and bacteria and other microorganisms. Forest floor is also known as the life of earth, a life of forest. Bacteria and fungus feed on the dead remains of plants and animals. Collectively, they are known as decomposers. Decomposers break down dead leaves, twigs, dead plants, dead remains of animals, and waste to form humus. Humus contains nutrients, which is then absorbed by the roots of the plants, which enables them to grow. Now the topic is interdependence of plants and animals in forest. All organisms interact with each other and their physical environment to derive energy for survival. Organisms derive energy through the use of resources. In an ecosystem, resources and energy are used for the growth, reproduction, and survival of life. Organisms thus can be classified into various categories based on the mode of nutrition. Producers, consumers. Producers. Plants and trees derive their nutrients from water and soil to make food by the process known as photosynthesis. They are also called autotrophs. Consumers. Animals and some plants derive their food from other plants and animals. These are called heterotrophs. Now we will discuss how energy transferred along a food chain. All living organisms need energy to survive. Sun is the principal source of energy for all living organisms. Plants traps sunlight and use it to form food by a process known as photosynthesis. All living organisms depends directly or indirectly on plants for food. The series of organisms dependent on each other as a source of food forms a food chain. The food chain shown here illustrates the relationship between producers and consumers. The plants are producers while rabbit, fox and lion are all consumers. The plant is a producer. The animals which feeds directly on plants are called primary consumers, or we can also say that herbivores. For example, rabbit. Rabbit eats only plants and plants products. So rabbit is a herbivore. Animals that feed on primary consumers are called secondary consumers. For example, fox. Fox may eat rabbit. Whereas the animals which feeds on secondary consumers are called tertiary consumers. For example, lion and tiger. Lion made their prey fox, and lion can consume fox. So lion is a tertiary. There are many animals and birds that eat both plants and animals are called omnivores. For example, human being. Now we will see how energy is lost in a food chain. How energy loses in a food chain. All consumers obtain energy from the food they eat. When a rabbit eats grass, the energy trapped in the grass is transferred to the rabbit. Similarly, when fox eats rabbit, the energy is also passed to the fox. In this manner, in a food chain, the energy is transferred from producer to the consumers. Energy is transferred through the food chain. There is a loss of energy at every link of the food chain. Only some amount of energy which is stored in the body is transferred to the next level. Now food web. देखिए इसमें बहुत बड़ा कंफ्यूजन रहता है स्टूडेंट्स को कि फूड वेब और फूड चेन्स दोनों एक ही है. फूड चेन और फूड वेब दोनों अलग अलग होते हैं. फूड चेन जैसा कि मैंने अभी आपको बताया क्या होती है. अब हम देखते हैं फूड वेब. फूड वेब इज अ सिस्टम ऑफ इंटरडिपेंडेंट फूड चेन्स used to represent various relationship of organisms. Now our next topic is importance of forest. Forest is a dynamic living entity full of life and vitality. Forests are useful to us in many ways, such as forests provide variety of products. Forests provide us firewood which can be used by us as a fuel, timber as furniture. Apart from wood, forest give us fruits, vegetable, oils, grasses. Prevents soil erosion. Soil erosion is the removal of topsoil by the action of wind, water, etc. The roots of the plants in the forest hold the soil and it prevents soil erosion. Forest also control floods because the roots of plants holds water and it also acts as obstructions in the path of the flow of water. There are many plants which can be used in the medicinal purpose, or we can say that बहुत सारे plants ऐसे होते हैं जिनका हम medicines में use करते हैं as a medicine, such as नीम से बहुत सारी हमें दवाइयाँ मिलती हैं, और भी बहुत सारे plants होते हैं जो कि दवाइयाँ बनाने में काम आते हैं. Purify air. Plants maintains the balance of air by absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. Now our next topic is destruction of forest. The cutting down of trees on a large scale or indiscriminate cutting of trees is known as deforestation. Deforestation affects ecosystem greatly and its consequences are very bad, such as after deforestation we lose plants or trees which can be used as a medicine, which provide us fruits, oils, gums, etc. जैसे ही फॉरेस्ट कम होते हैं तो उससे क्या होता है कि सोइल इरोजन का जो खतरा होता है वो ज़्यादा बढ़ जाता है, क्योंकि जो रूट्स ऑफ प्लांट्स होल्ड द सोइल एंड प्रिवेंट सोइल इरोजन. बट जैसे ही प्लांट्स कम होंगे तो सोइल इरोजन अपने आप ज़्यादा बढ़ेगा. इससे क्या होगा कि जैसे ही डिफोरेस्टेशन होता है तो इट लीड्स टू द इंक्रीज इन द लेवल ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड विच लीड्स टू ग्लोबल वार्मिंग. लंग्स ऑफ अर्थ कहा जाता है फॉरेस्ट्स को, बिकॉज अर्थ absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. जैसे अगर प्लांट्स कम होंगे तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का लेवल इंक्रीज होगा, उससे हमारी अर्थ का जो टेम्परेचर होगा वो भी बहुत ज्यादा इंक्रीज होगा, एंड इट लीड्स टू द ग्लोबल वार्मिंग। अर्थ सॉरी जो फॉरेस्ट होते हैं ये ब्रिंग्स अप रेन्स, फॉरेस्ट ब्रिंग्स अप रेन। इट आफ्टर द डिस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ फॉरेस्ट्स it affects the monsoon, it affects the rain, which also affects the crops of the farmers. So these are some consequences of destructions of forests. Now the last topic of our chapter is conservation of forest. Conservation of forest is very important to maintain balance in nature, and this is possible only by the following ways. Overgrazing by cattle should not be allowed. Papers should be recycled to conserve forest. Wildlife should be protected. Alternate source of energy have to be found. Afforestation awareness program should be undertaken, etc. So these are some ways in which we can conserve by which we can conserve the forest. Thank you.